Good morning, everyone. My name is Preet Bharara, and I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Today, I am proud to be part of a team that is returning to the Republic of Peru 9 paintings of great cultural significance. These paintings had been illegally looted, stolen from a church in Lima, and smuggled out of Peru in order to be trafficked on the international art market. They found their way to auction houses in Iowa and New York City, where they were being offered for sale. I'm joined here this morning by our partners in this investigation, as in so many other cases of this type involving stolen or forged artworks, among other matters, by the FBI. Here from the FBI, and you'll be hearing from him in a moment, the Assistant Director in Charge, George Venizelos. Also here representing the FBI is Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Bel Chen, and the FBI case agent on this investigation, Special Agent Meredith Savona. Also here today are the career prosecutors from my office who, working with the FBI, accomplished the return of this important art. Sharon Cohen-Levin is the chief of the Money Laundering and Asset Forfeiture Unit, and this investigation was led by Assistant U.S. Attorney Christine Magdo. We are also joined, I'm pleased to announce that we are joined by Mr. Harold Forsyth, Ambassador of Peru, Ambassador Gustavo Metza Quadra, Permanent Representative of Peru to the United Nations, and Mrs. Marie Teresa Marino, Consul General of Peru in New York. Just a couple of minutes of background. After an investigation by the FBI, the 9 paintings were determined to be the same paintings that were stolen from Peru. They date back to the 18th century and were all painted by the same artist, Miguel Cabrera, Mexican painter. Cabrera is considered one of the most important painters of his time in New Spain, an area which included present-day Mexico and Central America. These paintings, all of which were religious in nature, are typical of this artist. We have on display today what is perhaps the most famous of the 9 paintings, Resurrection of Lazarus, which is the original and here to my left. And it is known, as I said, as one of the finest examples of Cabrera's talent. This painting depicts Jesus bringing Lazarus back to life 4 days after his burial, to the astonishment of onlookers. The other 8 paintings are not here in the original, but they are reproductions that are around the room, to the side here and the right, and I think in the front, and also outside the elevators as you come in. They are also being returned to the Republic of Peru, and you should take a moment to look at those. They are actually in the FBI's custody because they're a little bit fragile, and are also being turned over to the Republic of Peru today. Today's event is just another example of my office's commitment to assuring that stolen artwork, especially artwork that is such an important part of a nation's cultural heritage, does not find safe haven for resale anywhere in the United States, and certainly not in our district, the Southern District of New York. So I want to thank everybody who was involved and assure everyone that when we find out about looted art, whether it's from Peru or from Cambodia or from other parts of Europe, as we have returned in the past, we'll do everything we can in our power to reunite that artwork that is precious and part of a nation's heritage back to the rightful owners and the people of those countries. I now turn the podium over to George Venizelos from the FBI.
Thank you, Preet. Good morning, everyone, Ambassador. I have a very short statement I'm gonna make about this great day. Throughout time, most art has been created for a specific reason or purpose. Art can be used to express ideas and beliefs, document periods of historical significance, or commemorate persons of prominence. The importance and value of art is oftentimes relative to individual perspective. During his lifetime, Miguel Cabrera was recognized as the greatest painter in all of New Spain. His works include religious paintings and portraits. He was a favorite painter of the Archbishop and of the Jesuit order, which earned him many commissions. In 2008, 9 religious paintings, like the ones you see around here, were recorded with the Art Loss Register by Interpol in Lima, Peru. In January 2009, 8 of the stolen paintings were recovered by the FBI. These works of art included Christ in Martha's house and Jesus with Samaritan woman. Then in about October of 2009, the remaining ninth stolen painting, entitled The Resurrection of Lazarus, the one behind us, was identified and recovered. The theft and trafficking across state and international lines of artwork and other priceless artifacts is a brewing criminal enterprise with estimated losses in the billions of dollars annually. The FBI, with the U.S. Attorney's Office, will continue to commit investigative resources and work with law enforcement agencies throughout the world to recover these works of art and bring to justice the criminals who pilfer these precious pieces. As we work together to restore all art and artifacts to their proper owners, may we remember the purpose they serve in preserving the history of the world for generations to come. For their assistance in this case, I want to thank United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Preet Bharara, also the Chief of the Asset and Forfeiture Unit, Sharon Levin, and Assistant U.S. Attorney Christine Madgo. I would also like to acknowledge our friends here, the Ambassador of Peru to the United States, Mr. Harold Forsyth, Ambassador Gustavo Meza Cuatro, Permanent Representative of Peru to the United Nations, and Ambassador Maria Teresa Marino de Hart, the Consul General of Peru in New York. Lastly, but certainly not least, I want to thank Supervisory Special Agent Tracy Stump, Special Agent Meredith Savona, Retired Special Agent James Wynn, and the Omaha Division of the FBI for their work on this investigation. I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Well-deserved round of applause. And now it's really my honor to call to the podium Ambassador Forsyth.
Thank you. It's great to be here with you, Mr. Bharara, Mr. Venizelos, and with your fantastic group of collaborators. And it's an amazing experience to be able to be here this morning and just to contemplate this beautiful work of art. And of course, the others that will go back soon where they rightfully belong in my country. So thank you so much. Actually, this is not a simple thing for us. This is the reflection, the tremendous detail that we can enjoy this morning reflects very clearly the great level of the bilateral relations Peru and the United States, and this is a particular great example. It is an honor and privilege to gather here today to witness the return of such precious paintings that are part of our vast cultural heritage. The cultural heritage of Peru comprises of all the tangible and intangible objects for its historical value, archaeological, artistic, architectural, paleontological, ethnological, documentary, bibliographic, scientific, or technical importance relevant to the identity and permanence of the nation through the time and space. It is due to this that those objects require special protection and defense, so that they can be enjoyed, valued, properly used by all citizens and passed on for our future generations. Looted and stolen objects of archaeological sites, churches, museums, and repositories of cultural property increases illicit traffic. The purchase and sale of archaeological or historical objects that is done without regard to their illicit transfer is prohibited. The main malicious acts involving illicit trafficking of cultural property are the illegal transfers and exports. In this opportunity, the repatriation of 9 18th century colonial paintings stolen in 2008 from a church of the Franciscan order with other 70 objects is a big success. It is a result of the common efforts, collaboration, and goodwill of the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the Embassy of Peru, all whom work together to return the artifacts to its rightful place among Peru's cultural patrimony. I want to express my sincere thankful for the great works of different organizations of the United States who are present with us here today. And also want to emphasize the long-standing and close relationship between the Embassy of Peru and the Department of Justice under the leadership of U.S. General Attorney Eric Holder, my very distinguished friend. The high degree of cooperation in fight against organized crime, terrorism, and corruption, as well as issues of recovery of Peruvian cultural heritage, reflects the excellent relations between the governments of Peru and the United States, and the strong commitment of the authorities to work together on this matter. Likewise, through the subscription of an agreement between the government of Peru and the United States, like the statement of intent between the Ministry of Interior, National Police of Peru, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations, both agencies agreed to enhance their cooperation to fight terrorism and transnational crime. We improve our capacity to recover cultural objects like the Resurrection of Lazarus, the most well-known work by Miguel Cabrera. So let our institutions continue being watchful for the protection of our cultural heritage and reinforce our compromise in this joint effort. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I don't know if there are any questions. If there are, I'm happy. Yes.
Yes. Do you know what is, have the looters been identified? What has become of the investigation? Have they been identified?
Yeah, to my understanding is no, that there's an investigation that continues in the Republic of Peru where the theft took place. I don't know if the ambassador has anything to add to that, but my understanding is that investigation is ongoing, but the looters have not yet been brought to justice.
Can you give a bit of background about how widespread the problem of art theft is in Peru? The ambassador mentioned not only churches in this case, but archaeological sites.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on art theft in Peru. My understanding, though, is with respect to this church, there were not just the 9 paintings that are being returned today, which is great news, but I think something along the lines of 70 pieces of art were stolen from the church. So we're partway there, but we're not all the way there, and we don't know, I don't think, if those pieces of art made their way to auction houses in the United States. If we find out that they did and we have something to say about it, we will. But I don't know if there's anything further that the ambassador wants to say about the general problem of art theft in Peru. No. I think it speaks for itself.
Can you give us some details on how these 9 paintings were found?
Yeah, I mean, I think, as I said in my remarks, and as Assistant Director in charge Venizelos said, there was an alert that was made to the auction house in Iowa with respect to 8 paintings that were being sold there, and an investigation was undertaken by the FBI out in Iowa in coordination with folks in New York, because one of the paintings was being put on consignment to an auction house here in New York. They did their expert work, because there are people at the FBI who are expert in lots of things, not just explosives and not just terrorism, but also in art provenance. And they did their investigation, determined that there had been this theft, determined that these paintings were in fact among the 70 that were stolen from the church. They were brought here. Our office was asked to contribute legal resources to resolving the case. A stipulation was entered into between the parties. Everyone did the right thing in this case. Sometimes it takes a lot of litigation to have people relinquish valuable art because they don't want to, even though there's considerable proof that the art was stolen. And I've been at this podium a number of times with respect to, and had ambassadors from other countries stand here, and it's been a much harder and longer fought battle. And we don't have that in this case, because I think the facts were clear, and everyone did the right thing and gave up what was not their rightful property in the first place.
It seems a fairly straightforward case that this went to galleries that would have, or auction houses that would have reason to look into who really owns and where this came from.
Yeah, I can't speak to that. I mean, there have been other cases in which there is reason to be unhappy with the auction houses, and typically that's what I was referring to a moment ago. Those are cases in which there is a lot of fighting that takes place, and so I don't presume to know, what degree of diligence was done by the auction house. What I do know is, from everything that I've been told, is as soon as a doubt was raised with respect to these paintings, the auction house did the right thing, and the people who were the holders of the paintings did the right thing, And we had a stipulation that was entered into by Judge Cote yesterday rather than having a long and protracted case. And sometimes those other cases seem straightforward also, but people, America is a great country and it allows people to be litigious. That didn't happen here, thankfully.
But would some suspicion fall on those who brought it up?
I'm not going to comment on what remains an ongoing investigation as to who might have been involved in a conspiracy to loot and then fence those pieces of art. Yeah.
Question that might be a little granular detail, might be for the ambassador. Can you tell me a little bit about the church from which these paintings were stolen and reaction when this happened? It was quite recent, 2008.
Yep.
Actually, what I know is that it's a church, it's a small church where priests gather to pray. I don't know if the church is open to the public. I don't remember I've been there. But anyway, it's close to my Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where I began working so many, many years ago. So, the interesting thing is that this church is small and it belongs to the Franciscan order. It has some prestige because they gather beautiful works of art. Now, the problem that we face, and this to some extent answers the question that was made before by one of you, is that we have fantastic treasures of paintings and many other things which go back to the colonial times. And so many churches, not only in Lima, but in the Andes, in different parts of Peru. So we also face a tremendous problem in order to protect this heritage, and to provide the necessary security. And we're in that process.
What was the name of the church?
Is our... dímelo en español. That's a house of spiritual exercises, I would say. Yeah. St. Francis of Assisi,
Thanks, everybody.